Fighting games are about characters and also cool attacks. You obviously need both, but my point is that both features are important. You can design the coolest looking character of all time, but it falls apart if their attacks are lame. So today, let's talk about Mortal Kombat attacks that don't work. And I mean that literally. These moves aren't just bad, they literally fail to function. For a fast example, Johnny's Nut Punch doesn't work on women in the early games. Yeah, that's right, he just refuses to do it. So we're gonna talk about that, along with a few other attacks in today's video. But first, my previous video got 2,000 likes, which means I get to show off my nunchuck skills, and I'm so excited. I always keep my promises on this channel, and if today's video gets 2,000 likes, I'll do Sonya Blade's leg grab in real life. Without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, first up is Johnny Cage's Nut Punch, possibly one of the most iconic attacks in Mortal Kombat history, which is why it's shocking to learn that for the first 5 games or so, it didn't work properly. Yeah, like mentioned earlier, you could not do it against women, and I don't mean they walk it off. Johnny Cage himself just refuses to do the move. He still does the splits, but his punch won't come out. And it's consistent in all the early games, which has me thinking it's meant to be an inside joke, or maybe imply that Johnny Cage is a gentleman and won't punch women in the taco. But that idea falls apart immediately because Johnny is still punching them in the face, he's still doing fatalities on them, all that stuff. So why is he drawing the line at punching the taco? That makes no sense. So maybe it's not about being a gentleman, but maybe developers thought women are immune to this move because they lack a sausage? But that's not true. Getting punched in the taco still hurts. Just ask any woman and they'll tell you, crotch punches are painful. I understand that Mortal Kombat was made mostly by dudes back in the day, and that's not even an issue. However, did they actually think women are immune to crotch shots? Nah bro, it still hurts pretty bad. So thankfully they fixed this in later games. Now everyone gets nut shots, and that's what equality is all about. And obviously at a competitive level it's better too, because now at tournaments you don't get an advantage for picking women against Johnny Cage. Real quick before going any further, I designed a new shirt. Check it out in the pinned comment if you want to order. Show off your love for fighting games while looking stylish with a shirt covered in fighting game inputs of classic and modern games. I've been wanting to make new shirt designs for a while because my older designs feel a bit stale, but also I've got tons of new ideas that I want to share with people, so hopefully this new shirt looks cool. Obviously every purchase helps support my channel, so if you like this shirt or just want to support me, check out that pinned comment and buy yourself a shirt today. So next up, let's talk about Noob Saibot in Mortal Kombat 4. He has this ghost ball attack that was around during his debut in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, but in that game it was way more powerful. It not only removed your block option, which meant you had to eat every attack coming your way, but also Noob Saibot himself was impossible to hit, which is crazy overpowered and honestly one of the cheapest attacks in fighting game history, not just Mortal Kombat. I'm having a hard time thinking of any other fighting game with an attack this powerful. You can't block and also can't hit the opponent. But yeah, thankfully in Mortal Kombat 4, this move was less powerful because it just removed your block. So in other words, if the opponent hits you with this ghost ball, then you can't block for a short bit, but you can still try attacking them at the very least. In other words, offense becomes your best defense. Sounds pretty straightforward, except it doesn't work for player 2. Yeah, that's right, the no block feature doesn't even work unless you're player 1. How messed up is that? Just imagine the situation. You're playing Mortal Kombat 4 with your buddies, you pick Noob Saibot, your favorite character, but for some reason the move's not working, and later you learn, oh, player 2 just doesn't get to use this move. Yeah, that's messed up. If you want to actually enjoy Noob Saibot in this game, then you have to be player 1, otherwise your moves don't work correctly. It's honestly ridiculous, and I can't believe the game works this way. Although, it actually reminds me of Mortal Kombat 9 and how busted that game was too. If you were the second player, otherwise known as player 2, then you lost trades every single time. Yeah, this game is busted and not enough people know about it. You all keep screaming for Mortal Kombat 9 to return, but do you actually know how sinister this game is? If you and the opponent attack at the exact same time, player 1 always wins every single time. Yeah, it's really stupid. The entire Mortal Kombat series has little bugs like this that really, well, they bug me. I just didn't want to make a pun right there, but just like player 2 in MK9, I gotta take the hit. So next up, let's talk about Mortal Kombat Deception, because I gotta rant about Shao Kahn real quick. Yeah, Shao Kahn of all characters. First up, he died in Deadly Alliance, and I hate retcons. The whole idea of Shao Kahn using a body double to survive the Deadly Alliance is nonsense in my opinion. Like seriously, how did he know they were coming? He was literally their first target. Can bro see the future or something? But I digress. Today's video is about moves that don't work. So just look at his throw. Do you notice anything? No? Well, let me throw him again. Did you see it? Okay, I'll do it one more time, and this time check out his health bar. Yeah, it doesn't move. That's because Shao Kahn's throw does almost no damage, for whatever reason, and this bug stayed around in Armageddon because most characters were just copied over to that game. So in other words, one of the strongest characters in the Mortal Kombat series has a throw that does 0 damage. Well, almost 0 damage. How does a glitch like this even happen? I've done a little bit of game coding myself in the past, and I've got no clue how this happened. A throw just does no damage. And to make things crazier, the sequel game has the exact same problem, which means developers either did not catch this glitch to fix it, or they did know about it but had no clue how to fix it, so it stayed in. And honestly, I'm not sure which situation is worse. In fact, part of me wonders if developers left this in the game to pretend like it was on purpose. Like, oh yeah everyone, we meant for Shao Kahn's throw to do no damage, it's a feature not a bug, and that's why Armageddon is like this too. Now get out of here. The fact my favorite villain in Mortal Kombat has the weakest throw ever made will never be okay. Throughout all of Mortal Kombat history, in every single game, there's not one throw that does less damage than this one, which means Shao Kahn has the worst throw. And that's just crazy to think about. Somebody at Midway better have lost their job over this. I'm freaking out. But alright, real quick, an honorable mention, I wanted to talk about Sonya in Deadly Alliance, because her poison mist doesn't work on Kenshi for some reason, which I always assumed was because he's blind, but the comments have told me it's more likely because he wears a blindfold, which blocks his eyeballs and therefore the poison spray doesn't affect him, which honestly might be true and I hadn't thought about that, but if that's the case then it should work against his alternate costume because he's not wearing a blindfold. So if Sonya's poison mist still works on that costume, then my theory is correct. Bro's eyes just don't work and apparently also have no feeling. However, if you're wondering why this example is an honorable mention, it's because it only works on one character and that's Kenshi, and also because it was done intentionally. So it's not a glitch like Shao Kahn's throw or Noob Saibot's ghost ball, it was intentional. Midway wanted Sonya's attack to fail against Kenshi, similar to Johnny's nut punch in the older games. So yeah, it's only an honorable mention because it's only on one dude. Though with that said, it shouldn't work on Cyrax either, right? Since his eyes are covered behind a mask? Not to mention he might have robot eyes for all we know, and also do cyborgs have nerves that function or not? Are their pain responses disabled on purpose to make them better warriors? Because if that is the case, then Sonya's poison mist shouldn't work on him either, right? Cyrax should be immune. And also, I forgot about Blaze, who's made of pure fire. I don't think he has any flesh or skin to hurt with the poison. So as a result, Sonya's attack shouldn't work on him either, but oh well, I guess trying to make funny features like this is hard, I suppose. Which once again is why it's just an honorable mention. And alright everyone, there you have it. Several attacks in Mortal Kombat that just don't function, or at least don't work properly. From Johnny Cage's nut punch to Sonya's poison mist, Shao Kahn's throw, and the Noob Saibot's ghost ball, all of these moves don't work correctly and I find that super funny. But thankfully in the modern era, all these issues would just be one update away, right? Developers could make the fix and then we download it for free and the move works correctly. So as a result, there's not many modern examples of this happening, but hey, maybe I missed some. So let me know in the comments if there are recent moves that don't work in recent Mortal Kombat games. If there's a decent amount of moves I missed, then I'll make a sequel video. But for now, thanks for watching everyone, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below, it helps the channel out a ton. And then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.